Wellness Wednesday. Let's talk 40 plus health journey. So for about the last year, I've gotten really serious about trying to figure out like my body, what works for it, my overall health, my sleep, all of that. If you've ever heard me talk about anything, you know, I talk about my Aura ring, which is on this hand, like I'm holding my phone with, and my Muse meditation headbands. It's like two tools that really started to give me data about actually how I was doing. Okay, so that's like one of the big pieces. I guess that started a few years ago. But then what I found, like as I'm turning 40, it's like, hey, I'm like eating good and moving a lot, and things just don't seem to quite be working the way that they used to work. And there is a lot of noise online right now, like Dr. Haver, if y'all follow her, and like all of this stuff, you see all these women, even where I live in Northwest Hills in Austin, like with weighted vests, and it's like this sort of like pre-menopause 40 plus health thing, and it is no joke for those of us moms, and if you own a business or a professional job or even staying home, right? There's so much to juggle as women. And when this is off, it's so easy to just kind of push it to the very bottom, especially if you're in the middle of a divorce or something. Like I'm sure that you do not even have ears for this. I was just going to share a teensy bit because I was on my mind today, because I think I have found such a breakthrough set of resources to help me. So in general, like if you're anything like me, like the weight started kind of hanging around a little bit more. Your sleep was a little bit disrupted. And I've always struggled with like tummy stuff, and I'm lactose intolerant, and just like basically food does not agree with me. In general, that's just been sort of my lot in life, I thought. And I have had several different like online folks, different doctors. I've done blood work like 5 times, and just trying to get to the bottom of something's not right. And I think it is related to hormone stuff and whatever. And anyway, I finally got my way to Dr. Ruthie Harper here in Austin at the recommendation of Kate, because basically whatever Kate says, that's what we do. And she has just been such a godsend. So they had me do blood work. But did you know that when you're doing blood work for hormones, you need to do it on certain days, because the way your hormones are affected, like in your cycle, you need to do it on a certain day. So if they're like, if you go to a doctor and they're just like, oh, do your blood work any old day, you may want to consider whether that makes much sense, because our bodies work differently depending on where we are. So like that was one thing. Did a gut test, but like all the way gut test. And I will not get into that on God's great internet, but this really comprehensive gut test. And then just sort of this in-depth interview with me of basically anything remotely relevant to my health. They cared, they listened, they wanted to hear it. And earlier this week, I went and I spent a long time at that office for the first time feeling heard. Not like somebody's trying to get me through in 10 minutes, not like they already knew before they even talked to me. Because there's a couple random things that I've dealt with that like I told her, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you told me. We kind of identified, we think I have like an overactive histamine response, which is why like dust makes me crazy and all this. Nobody had ever even remotely tried to help me with that. This is not really just like a shill for Dr. Harper, although you should definitely go see her. Just to say that like, keep working at it. I've only been doing like the protocol to help with particularly the gut stuff for a few days. I'm already starting to feel better. I had a parasite. Seems like somebody in all them other blood works could have, or gut, whatever, could have figured that out. And they didn't. And so just the relief it feels to have somebody really listen to you, really care about what you're saying, who's truly an expert at what they do, is a game changer. So I'm very excited, like Wellness Wednesday today. That's what's on my mind. I think I have a breakthrough in this year-long health journey. You know what else she told me? As far as like exercise and nutrition and stuff like that, that I was working out too much. Like if y'all remember, if you follow me at all, when I was posting stories where I was going to the gym, lifting heavy weights like 6 days a week. She's like, yeah, no wonder everything was all messed up, because then you give your body no time to rest or whatever. And I thought that's what I had to do. 20 reps each set, 6 days a week. And then also when you set yourself up like that, you're never going to live up to it. At least me, there's no way I can keep up with that forever. I might do it for a month or two and then I'm going to fall off the wagon. So having that gut analysis, like there's so many things wrong, getting that in check, and they say that affects everything, right? Like whatever, I don't know about that, but that's what they say. Getting the hormones, we have a plan. Like I needed to go on 1 or 2 prescriptions even for thyroid stuff. Like I didn't even know that. and then get a plan for how nutrition and exercise fit into all of this. Just like want to put words on, I've cared about this a lot and been willing to invest money and time and effort and energy into this. So if that's you, just like keep going. If you're local, if you're in Texas, I don't know how doctors work, like you need to contact their office. They can help you, or just keep searching for people like that, because ladies, we do not have to suffer through this. We do not have to go through this alone. You don't have to feel in the dark. You don't have to feel like nobody's listening to you. You don't have to feel like junk. Like there is another choice, and I am just like the most excited for this huge development.